Hello guys and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be checking out the new Womier G75 75% keyboard that was sent over to me for my honest review. Now this is a coffee themed mechanical keyboard and it is also dual mounted. So you can either do a gasket mounted, which is what the keyboard comes right out of the box, or they also include some screws to make the keyboard top mounted. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's talk about the price point. So right now the keyboard goes for $99.99 on Amazon, but they do have a 20% off coupon right now. Inside the box you get the keyboard itself, those screws I talked about, and the keyboard is already built for you. They also do include a wire as well as all the other stuff that you would expect to see in a keyboard like this. Keycap puller, switch puller, extra gaskets, and even some extra keycaps if you did not want to use the novelty keycaps that come with the keyboard. This keyboard is a sort of like an acrylic glossy finish. While it does look nice, I really am happy that they went for a darker color, because if it was any lighter then you would get a lot of fingerprints on this keyboard, and that is very apparent even with this dark colorway when the light hits it. The keycaps themselves are pretty decent quality. I am sad about the keycap profile, and they're not really cherry profile unfortunately, but when it comes to the quality and thickness they are quite nice and pretty good for a budget keyboard like this. And then when it comes to the keyboard itself, it does come with screw-in stabilizers, which is quite nice. It is hot swappable 3 to 5 pin and has case foam, plate foam, and PE foam pre-installed. When it comes to the actual plate itself, it is a polycarbonate plate as well. And if you're wondering what the material of the keycaps were, those are PBT double shot keycaps, which means you should be able to use these for a very long time without getting any shine on them, which is obviously great for longevity purposes. This is how it sounds right out of the box. Overall, I think the sound profile of this keyboard is quite nice right out of the box. I don't really have any issues. The stabilizers were near perfect. You know, you could probably go in there and syringe lube them and that would definitely help out. But when it comes to the stock experience for the stabilizers, I think they did a pretty good job. When it comes to changing out to a top mounted keyboard, it is quite simple. All you really have to do is unscrew the keyboard, and then instead of putting the gaskets, you will remove those long gaskets and put the smaller gaskets on the parts where the screws go in, and then you screw the plate and PCB to the top part of the keyboard case. This essentially gives you that top mounted experience. Now, from my experience, it really didn't change anything from the sounds department, so I didn't really record a sound test for this, but I can say when it came to the feel, it definitely felt a lot stiffer. So if you do like a stiffer board and don't really like the bounce or flex that gasket gives, then this could be a great option. But for me personally, it was a bit too stiff for my liking, so everyone is different. Now, I wanted to quickly go over their switches. Now, they are a linear switch with a 40-gram actuation force, a 2mm pre-travel distance, and a 3.8mm total travel distance. They are also factory lubed as well, which leads to that really nice and smooth experience that you heard in the sound test a little bit earlier. So, in my opinion, when it comes to the switches, they're great right out of the box. And considering the fact that this is a Womier keyboard, there are some great RGB effects as well to fit that more RGB setup. Just know that it does look a little bit different because the keyboard itself is brown. Overall, I just think this keyboard is a great purchase for anybody looking for a budget keyboard that really doesn't have to be modified in any way unless they absolutely wanted to. And honestly, I don't really have that many complaints. I think a small complaint could be the fact that it does have a lot of foam in it, which basically removes its own like unique sound profile, especially because they did add PE foam as well. But on budget boards, sometimes PE foam is very beneficial. So it honestly just depends on who you're talking to. And you also get 2 different mounting styles, which is practically unheard of at this price point. So I wouldn't mind recommending this keyboard to someone who is barely entering the hobby, or just someone who wants another budget keyboard to add to their collection. I will leaving a link to this keyboard in the description below if you are interested in checking it out. But let me know what you guys thought about this keyboard in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.